Hey everybody, it's Angela and I'm back with another process video. This one is going to be of last year's Halloween costume of my granddaughter. And in it, she's wearing a cowgirl outfit in pink and it's got some gold and some like cowhide print on there, and it's taken on the grass. So there's really nothing that speaks Halloween in this. There's no Halloween decorations, there's no Halloween colors. And so that kind of threw me off a little bit. So I decided to just go with the colors in the photo, and I pulled out the Paige Evans Oh My Heart collection because I had gotten almost the full collection of this, or quite a bit of the collection when it first came out, and I've just slowly been working through it. And I thought the colors were perfect. So I'm just kind of going through and looking at the different colors. I know I probably want to do some die cutting on this, so I'm pulling out my scraps so that I can die cut some flowers and stuff from the scraps. And then I'm looking through the 12 by 12 papers trying to decide what I want to use for my background. And I wind up using that one right there, that geometric, but I'm still kind of auditioning a few others. I like that ombre paper, but I thought since this was a costume and a kid layout, I could just throw caution to the wind and really go for some color on here, because you know how little kids love color and pattern and all that kind of good stuff, and you can kind of pull out all the stops and really have a good play with some things that you might not normally use. That's what I do love about doing children's layouts. I have a few chipboard items. My puffy stickers are almost all gone. I have a few sticker items left in the book, but the gold that comes with this collection is a rose gold, and so I don't want to use that. Her costume is a bright yellow gold, so I want to stick with a yellow gold. So there's really not much. Actually, I don't think I use any of the ephemera pieces in here. I do use a few flowers I had left over from a previous layout that I had die cut myself. You can see there on the bottom I die cut those earlier and had them left over. So I'm going to save those, and I'm just going to use the paper to use some more of my die cuts and go that direction. So I go ahead and I pull in some Saw Crafters products, and she has a little star on her belt, so I want to echo that. And then I like that heart as well, and the little horse from Saw Crafters. And then I find my much used flower dies from hot off the press, and another flourish die. I believe it's a Doris die that has kind of a western flourish design to it. And I go ahead and I cut those out. And I tried to use my scraps that I already had, or those little 2x2 squares and stuff like that, to do all my die cuts from. And so I'm just going to make kind of a flower explosion around those two photographs. But it got a little crowded there, and you'll see that I actually reprint my photos a little bit smaller, which worked out good because the photograph on the right is somewhat blurry. I think she was moving her head when the picture was taken. So when I reduce it down a little bit, it actually, you don't notice the blurriness of the photo quite so much. So that's kind of how it's going to wind up going. I'm going to put the two flourishes following that kind of diagonal line above the pink. And I had pulled out these pink thickers that I really wanted to use, but now I kind of want my title to be down on that pink portion of the paper, so it wouldn't show up if I used it. So I have to just go with the gold and use another color. I still really want to use it, and I think, oh, maybe I'll, I pull it out and just position it around the page on some wax paper to see if I can put it in another spot, maybe above that pink area or something like that. But then when I go to actually pull them out, I see that if I spell out Halloween, it's going to be huge long because the L's are like capital L's and stuff, so it would be huge. So I go ahead and I stop that idea and go with just these little black and white tile stickers that come with the Paige Evans collection. And my title is just going to be Halloween Cowgirl, so that when someone looks at this, they'll know it's a Halloween costume is why she's dressed up. I'm just having a look through. I don't wind up using any of the other stickers, I don't think, from the collection. Like I said, I don't use any of the ephemera from it. I just use the papers and these letter stickers. And this was kind of a tough layout for me. It was just a lot different than what I normally do. And yeah, so I had to kind of regroup a couple times. I'm having a little bit of trouble with those tile stickers because they weren't very sticky. I might have to go back and glue them or stitch through them. I'm not sure yet. But that's where I go ahead and put down the title, and I really like that. And then I go ahead and I glue down the flourishes. You'll see quite a bit of the one on the left, but the one on the right gets covered up mostly, but little pieces of it kind of peek out. So I'm just going to use my Scotch tacky glue to go ahead and put that down. And I like that flourish because it kind of just reminds me of, the design on a Western shirt or something like that. Kind of has a Western flair to it. So I go ahead and put one on each side. And then here's where I decide that I want to reduce down my photos. So through the magic there, you see they're a little bit smaller. I put the one on the left up on foam tape, so it's raised up just a little bit. And I just left a white border around them, and I like that because it kind of echoes the white border between each of the rays of that pattern paper. And then when I use the Saw Crafters, the heart and the star, those are outline elements as well, so they also echo that kind of white line or white border around everything. You can see, yeah, there's the white border around that star and that heart, so it has a little bit of continuity going on there. And I really like those. Now, I am on the design team for Saw Crafters, but this isn't actually one of my design team projects, but I will go ahead and put links to all those three Saw Crafters products below. And if you use the discount code AngelaFans when you check out and you have an order of $30 or more in her shop, you'll actually get a 10% discount. So if you're interested in any of those little white MDF products I'm using there, just look down below for the links and the discount code. So on this, I'm using like that striped flower on the left. I'm going to position that so the stripes are kind of going at the same angle as the white stripe on the background paper, and I'm going to do that with most of the flowers. Any of them have stripes, I'm going to kind of position them so they follow the kind of sunbursty ray direction, and I think it just looks better and a little less cluttery if all the lines kind of follow together. And also, to make it a little less cluttery, I'm going to go ahead and back my two outlined items on some pattern paper. Put the heart on some pink and the star on some gold yellow color. And while those dry, I'm just going to go ahead and start putting down some of these flowers. And there's where you can see I kind of position the white lines in that flower to match the white line of that starburst. And I'm overlapping some of the flowers and tucking them behind in other places. Just kind of spreading my colors out. And overall, I really like how this turned out. Like I said, it was, kind of a challenge, but yeah, I had fun with it. I took my time. I'm actually home this weekend. That's why you've gotten 2 process videos in a row here. This is the first time I've been able to stay home on the weekend in 6 months. So I have only left the house once. I just wanted to stay home, and I got a lot of chores and stuff done, but I also had some time to just play in my scrap room. So I'm really loving it. It's a nice time for me to kind of recharge. So that worked out really, really nice. I'm glad that the farm is winding down a little bit, and I might be able to have a couple more weekends here this winter to just stay home. So there, I just used my craft knife to trim those out. So I'm going to put the star over on that side and the heart up there, and that gives me a nice visual triangle. And the horse, I'm just going to leave kind of floating there. I'm not going to nestle it into the flowers like I did these other two items because the horse is already kind of tucked in. His chin kind of goes up over the L and his back kind of curves down below that flower on the right. And so since it really nestles so well in there, it feels like it belongs. And so it doesn't actually need to be, touching anything. It still seems to work. There again, I just positioned that striped flower to match the stripe in my starburst ray there. I think there's one other stripy flower. Oh, there's a black and white stripy flower I haven't put down yet, but I'll do the same thing. And that just brings a touch of black because the kind of cow print skirt that she's wearing is black. I was really wishing it had been brown because then I could have used that Jen Hatfield collection with the brown cowhide paper in it, but it just didn't quite work being brown and not black. So those are some really old Pink Fresh Studio, I think from a couple years ago, that I got in a Scraptastic kit. And they have these little black stars, and again that brings out some touches of black onto the layout. So I'm just using those stars as a repeated motif of the star that I already have on there, and then as flower centers for my flowers. Here I am just tucking a few more where I think it needs a certain pop of color. And then there's also a few word phrases on here that give it another Halloween touch. One says a happy Halloween, that one there. And then I put down another one that says eek. And that gives it, a little bit more Halloween flavor. Since, besides the word Halloween on there, I don't have anything else that's really in the theme of Halloween. So that is pretty much the whole layout. I do get some gold Heidi Swapp ink and do some gold sprinkles on it. So I just cover up my photo there and put that down, and then that completes it. So I really love how it turned out. It's really girly, it's really cute, it's not scary, and it just kind of shows what costume she was wearing that Halloween. And so now I am caught up with the 2 grandkids that did Halloween last year. So I'll probably have 4 grandkids doing it this year. So I'll have a lot more to scrapbook. I don't know what I'm doing there. There we go. So now I'm just kind of zooming in, give you a close-up. You can see the gold sprinkles on there, puffy stickers, the Saw Crafter's heart, and the little Saw Crafter's horse. I love that horse. I get quite a few uses. I've used that quite a bit. I think you get like 6 in a pack, so I'll put a link for that down below. So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you have any questions or anything, just leave them down below, and I hope to have some more process videos this week, so be looking for that. And thanks so much for watching. I will talk to you later. Bye.